अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारं भेतारं कर्म भूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। Acharya Uma Swami's Tattvad Sutra. We are going to start today 6th chapter. Okay. So far we have covered one chapter. Then 2, 3, 4 is not in our syllabus for Parmagam. Then in the 5th chapter we discuss selected 8 aphorisms. Okay. So today we are going to start chapter 6 and your CC2 is also going to come from chapter 6, the latter part of the chapter 6. So very important chapter. Let's begin from the beginning itself. Chapter 6. Chapter 6 and chapter 7 are related to influx. Okay. In chapter 6, the causes of influx are discussed, and then different causes for the binding of different types of karmas. That is the essence of chapter 6. So basically it's the causes of influx that has been discussed here in chapter 6. And chapter 7, auspicious and inauspicious influx. They have discussed this. So 6 and 7 is full of influx. We begin with chapter 6, page number 238 Hindi text. PDF would be 63. I made you a co-host, Hemali. You can share the So chapter 6, Madhuji, you begin.
Yes, sir. Sir, we don't. You will send this, right? That is what you said, no?
No. I have already sent you.
But ये मणि
Mani
प्रदीप
Pradeep, Mani Pradeep, Mani Pradeep.
हाँ तो ये टू अच्छा हम लोग का शायद 200. We don't have that page. I'll read from here.
No, page 63.
Oh, that's what I said.
Page 63 of PDF and page 238 of Hindi.
Chapter 6 background, यही ना sir?
हाँ, right. We have already.
Yes, sir. I'll start reading. Okay. We have already established that Tattvarth can be categorized into Dravya Tattvarth and Paryaya Tattvarth. The first 5 chapters extensively covered Dravya Tattvarth.
This is 66, Hemali. We are on to 63.
Okay, sir.
The first 5 chapters extensively covered Dravya Tattvarth, discussing Jiva and Ajiva in detail. Now, we shift our focus to Paryaya Tattvartha, beginning with Asrav Tattvartha. The discussion on Ashrav will span 2 chapters. 1. Chapter 6. The general nature of Ashrav and the causes behind the influx of the 8 karmas. 2. Chapter 7. The Vyavahar perspective explaining Ashrav in terms of Shubh Bhav and Ashubh Bhav. Ashrav Tattvarth, fundamentals of influx. Understanding its general nature, to grasp Ashrav, we begin with discussing yoga as mentioned in the sutras. सर वो पढ़ें क्या या
पढ़ सकते हैं तो पढ़िए, नहीं तो छोड़ दीजिए, कोई बात
नहीं. अच्छा, कवायन मनः कर्म योगः सा आश्रवः शुभः पुण्यशुभः papasya. Sakasya kao sayaho sampur aikarye apatyahe. The activities of the body, that is kaya, speech, vakana, and mind, mana, are called yoga. This yoga itself is ashrav, the influx of karma. Shubh Yog, virtuous activity, leads to Punya karma, influx. Ashubh Yog, non virtuous activity, leads to Pap karma, influx. For beings with Kashai, that is passions, the ashrav is called Samparvyaka,
Sampraik Asrav.
Sampraika ashrav, and for those without Kashai, the ashrav is called
Iryapat.
Iryapatha Ashrav. In reality, the movement Parispanda of Atma Pradeshas, spatial units of the soul, is called yoga. This movement of Atma Pradeshas occur due to the influence, that is Nimit, of the body, speech, and mind. Based on this influence, yoga is classified into three types. One, uh,
Kai Yoga.
Kaya Yoga, bodily activity. The movement of Atma Pradeshas caused by the influence of the body, Kaya, is called Kaya Yoga. Two, Vakanya Yoga, verbal activity. The movement of Atma
Vachan,
Pradeshas,
Vachan.
oh sorry, sir. Vachan Yoga, verbal activity. The movement of Atma Pradeshas caused by the influence of speech. Vachan is called Vachan Yoga. 3. Man Yoga, mental activity. The movement of Atma Pradeshas caused by the influence of the mind, that is Man, is called Man Yoga. These three types of yoga together constitute Ashrav. Ashrav means influx. The inflow of karma into the soul due to yoga is called Ashrav. That is why it is said that yoga itself is Ashrav. The karma that enters through yoga is of two types. One, punya karma, meritorious karma through auspicious yoga. Two, pap karma, sinful karma through inauspicious yoga. Inauspicious kaya yoga includes physical actions such as harming living beings, stealing, and engaging in sexual misconduct. Inauspicious Vachan Yoga includes actions like speaking falsehoods or using harsh words. Inauspicious Man Yoga includes thoughts related to indulgence in sensory pleasures or wishing harm upon others. Similarly, auspicious Kaya Yoga includes physical acts such as protecting living beings. Auspicious Vachan Yoga includes speaking beneficial, measured, and pleasant words. Thinking of others' well being is Shubh Maniyog, auspicious mental activity. A. Uh, a possible question arises here. The bondage of Pap root Ghati karma, destructive karmas, continues even during Shubh Yog, auspicious, that is auspicious activity. So, how can it be correct to say that Shubh Yog leads to the bondage of Punya karma, that is meritorious karma? Answer. We all know that there is no distinction of punya, that is merit, and pap, demerit, in ghati karma, as all ghati karma are inherently papa, that is demerit. The distinction between punya and papa applies only to aghati karmas, non-destructive karmas. Therefore, the statement in the third sutra should be understood with reference to aghati karma only. The meaning is that Shubh Yog leads to the bondage of Punya forms of Aghati karma, while Ashubh Yog, that is impure activity, leads to the bondage of Papa forms of Aghati karma. The influx, that is Ashra, that occurs in beings with Kashai, that is passions, which is the cause of sansar, that is worldly existence, is called samaparyayika ashrav. The influx that occurs in beings without kashai, which is free from sthiti anubhaga bandh, that is bondage of duration and intensity, and caused only by yoga, is called iryapatha ashrav.
Stop.
That, yes.
So you see, in the first four sutras, they are mentioning what is yoga. Okay. Why they started with yoga, you know? Because the main cause of influx of karma, there are 5 causes in Tattvat Sutra. Okay. That's coming up. The first one is delusion, mithyatva. The second one is non-restraint, avirati. The third one is pramad, negligence. Fourth one is kashai, passions. And the fifth one is yog. Okay. So when they say yog, then we should mean that it also includes uh, delusion, non-restraint, negligence, passions. Okay. This is the way to write in Hindi literature, that if a word is used in this way, we have to mean it like that. Okay. So basically, main cause is the mithyatva, delusion. Okay. And under the guise of influence of delusion, non-restraint, negligence, passions, and yoga, that is activity of mind, speech, and body, are the causes of influx of karma. Okay. Now that yoga itself is called the influx, and that yoga also includes delusion, non-restraint, negligence, and passions. Okay. So there are 2 types of yoga, Shubh Yoga and Ashubh Yoga, virtuous activity and non-virtuous activity. Okay. So virtuous activity leads to punya karma, and non-virtuous activity or sinful activities leads to pap karma or demerit karma influx. Okay. For beings with kashai, that is passions, the asrav, the influx is called samprayik asrav. Okay. Samprayik asrav means influx with passions. And there is another type of influx which is without passion, that is called iryapat asrav. So my question, when does the delusion go away in terms of spiritual stages of development? Which stage delusion will go? Anybody? Yeah? Amita ji?
Is it fourth gun Stanak?
Yes. Then
Thank you.
non-restraint?
Non-restraint.
Avirati.
Non-restraint નું હિન્દી શું થાય?
Avirati.
Avirati. That would be probably sixth, maybe?
Fifth.
Fifth.
Okay. Mithyatva avirati. Then pramad. Pramad will, when pramad will go, negligence will go.
Oh. Maybe
Sixth.
oh,
At the end of the sixth, negligence will go. Seventh stage is without negligence. Okay.
I see.
In fact, the 7th stage is of pure introspective meditation, Shuddhopyog. Okay. So there is no pramad over there. 7th, 6th end, and 7th beginning, we can say. Then mithyatva avirati pramad, kashai, passions. Which stage the passion goes away?
I think that lobe lasts till 12th or 13th gun Stanak.
10th. At the end of 10th, only the shuksham lobe remains, and that also goes at the end of the 10th. Okay.
Thank you.
Then yog. When the yog will go? Activities of mind, speech, and body.
14th.
14th. Very good. So this is the stages that these causes of influx will go. Okay. But without manifesting right belief, the path of liberation doesn't begin. Right. So first we have to get rid of mithyatva. Then we will take care of avirati, non-restraint, negligence, passions, yog. Okay. The main cause, the principal cause is mithyatva, delusion. So that has to go first. So our all efforts should be directed in getting rid of delusion in the first place. Without getting rid of delusion, nothing happens in the path of liberation. You don't begin on itself. Okay. So first target would be to get rid of delusion. For getting rid of delusion, how many fastings you have to do? Amita ji? What you have to do to get rid of delusion? Who will give a very good answer? Everyone should speak up, you know. What is the way to get rid of delusion? Malti ji.
So accept that body and soul are different.
Okay.
Accept, believe in that it's the Jeev that is eternal, and
Okay.
body is just a vehicle.
Okay. Very good.
And have the right, accept that wo jo bhi tattva gyan should be the prime, so that we understand that what is important and what is not important for us.
Very good. Very good. Good try. You have tried it in your own way. But another better answer I would like to see from somebody else. Rekha. How
Yes,
the
sir.
delusion will go? How we can get rid of delusion?
The one thing is reading scriptures
Hmm.
and then getting with the right munis, sir, the right guide teacher.
Hmm. Then after reading scripture, what is the next step that we do?
Decide that.
So in between reading and decision, is there anything else?
Contemplating.
Thinking again over it, pondering, sir.
Pondering. Okay, good. So we call it as contemplation, analysis.
That
Right?
word, sir. Contemplation, yes.
Yeah. So we have only three steps. First one is reading the scriptures. By reading the scriptures, we will be aware of the facts. Okay. Then analyze it, contemplate it, and then you arrive at a decision. Okay. So up to decision is your effort to get rid of delusion. Okay. So our first target should be to get rid of delusion. And for that, we are getting the facts from the scriptures. Then you ponder over it, you contemplate about it, you analyze it, you read different scriptures, the same thing, and you will have a better clarity on the subject, right? So that is the next step. And when you have a better clarity on the subject, then automatically you are able to take a decision, okay? Whether it is worth renouncing or it is worth adapting, okay? Or it is worth knowing. We have only three options, right? Hey, gnei, upade. Hey is worth renouncing, okay? Then we have worth adapting. Again, in worth adapting, we have two divisions. Anyone can try?
So partially worth adapting, and the other is completely worth adapting.
Okay. So one is worth taking shelter. Okay. And one is worth manifesting. आश्रय करने योग्य उपादेय and pragat karne yogya upade. Okay. So when we say what
soul, no, sir?
Huh?
Soul. Ashray karne yogya upade is soul.
Yes. Right. Jeev. And pragat karne yogya upaday, worth manifesting, is stoppage, dissociation, liberation. Okay. All these three are modifications. Okay. They are pure modifications, but still they are modification. So they are not worth taking shelter in. Okay. They are only worth manifesting. So we have something to be renounced, something to be adapted, something to be taken shelter of, something worth manifesting, and then we have Ajiv Tattva, which is only worth knowing. Okay. So whatever we read, then we should contemplate on it, and then we will have a decision on whether it is worth adapting, whether worth renouncing, or whether worth knowing. Okay. So that would be obviously the next step, and based on that you can have the perfect decisions. Okay. So unless and until you come to the conclusion, the decision, everything else is futile. Okay. We had a meeting for 2 hours, and at the end of the day, at the end of the meeting, you ask what is the outcome? So no outcome. Then it is worth doing a meeting. So each and every effort that you do, you should have a vision behind that. Why you are doing this? What is the purpose? So that purpose has to be accomplished. Okay. That means you have to take the decisions. You have known some facts, you have analyzed it, and now you take a decision that, oh, this is right and this is wrong. This is worth doing and this is worth not doing. Okay. Then it makes sense. Okay. So we were discussing the 5 causes of influx, out of which delusion is the most important, because without getting rid of delusion, the path of liberation doesn't begin. And if the path doesn't begin, then how you can expect to complete it, right? So before doing anything else, we should focus on getting rid of delusion. And for that, you have only 3 steps to do. Study, 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 contemplate, analyze, analyze, and then decision. Okay. Our efforts doesn't go beyond decisions. Everything else is automatic, happening automatically. We are not the doer. Okay. So in terms of doership, if you want to assign anything, then it should be the decision making power. Okay. So we are reading Jinvani, automatically our decision making power is increasing. You have different choices in life. Okay. So how do you decide? Okay. So the one who reads Jinvani, he decides accordingly, which will be helping him to further up the studies, further up the contemplation process, further up the decision process. Okay. And the one who does not read Jinvani or doesn't understand Jinvani, he will indulge in all sorts of wrong activities which are not going to pay him anything in the long run. Okay. So the intellect develops only when you read Jinvani. That is the power of Jinvani, Jinendra Bhagwan's speech. Okay. And this has come to us in the form of these scriptures. Okay. So we are reading scriptures only. Why we are reading? To arrive at a decision, to arrive at a decision of all the 7 fundamentals. So right now we are discussing the causes of influx, and influx is also one of the 7 elements. Okay. Unless and until you understand influx clearly, you will not be able to discriminate between the influx and the soul. Okay. And that's where the errors regarding 7 fundamentals is the chief cause of our transmigration. Now, to remove that error, we have to understand it very clearly, the nature of each elements as it is. And then we have to apply what is worth adopting, what is worth renouncing, what is worth knowing. Okay. And then ultimately we come to a conclusion which leads us to self-realization. Okay. So self-realization, before self-realization, the path of liberation doesn't begin. So we have 4 or 5 statements to make: self-realization, manifesting self-realization, self-experience, getting rid of delusion, getting into the path of liberation. All these are synonymous terminology. Okay. It means the same. Whether you say I want to manifest right belief, or you say when you want to get rid of delusion, or you say I want to get into the path of liberation, it's all same, synonymous. Okay. Only the things are being said from different perspective. Getting rid of darshan moh is again a same statement. Getting rid of darshan moh means getting right belief. Okay. So some things which said we have 4 exposition. So we have different statements, but it all means the same action. There is no difference in action. Okay. So now they have started with yoga. Okay. And then subsequently they will come to delusion, then non-restraint, then negligence, then passions. And the last is of course the yoga. So when they state the last, you have to understand that all the 4 causes before that are also included in that. Okay. So these are some of the type of interpretations that we have to learn in Jainism. Okay. And we are studying in English. Otherwise in Hindi it would have been very easy, because there are certain rules in literature. If some words are used at the end, it means it is being used for the previous ones also. Something used in the middle also, antadipak, madhyadipak, and Adi Deepak. We have three kinds of statements, So we have to just read and decide, with practice, you will be able to understand it. Okay. So, so we have seen that when there is an activity of speech, mind, speech and body, there is a corresponding parispandan, movement of Atma Pradesho, okay, spatial unit of the soul. So supposing you are into meditation now, right? So you are in a sitting posture, not moving, your body is not moving at all because you are into meditation. Then are you talking anything? No. Are you chanting any mantra? No. So your speech and body are absolutely stable and still. Okay, no activity at the level of speech or body. But what about the mind? Okay, supposing you are into meditation and in your mind these thoughts are coming that she has done this to me, I will see what I can do, or some event happened in the past, it is coming into your knowledge screen now, automatically. It's not in our hand. What will come when? It's not in our hand. It's already pre-decided for all the souls of this universe. And not only soul substance, but all the other substance, what would be their destiny is all prefixed. And it unfolds in that way only. So that is not in our hand. Now supposing you are having that thoughts of anger on somebody, at that point of time, you are your body is not moving, your speech is also not coming out, but at the mind level, lot of activities is going on, and corresponding to that, there is a lot of movement in the spatial units of the soul, and that is the cause of influx. Nobody would understand from outside what's happening because you are sitting on a meditation pose, but internally there is lot of agitation in your mind. Okay, lot of anger, lot of pride, lot of deceit. Nobody knows that. Okay, but corresponding to that, there is something happening in the soul, and that is called the movement of the spatial units of that soul. In Hindi, we say Atma Pradesho ka Kampan or Parispandan. Okay, so lot of activities at the mind level, and that is the cause of influx. Okay, so even in case of delusion, non-restraint, then negligence and passions, all these then culminate into the mind, speech and activity. Okay, so they have included mind, speech and activity as the first cause of influx. That means all the four are also expressed through mind, speech and body. Okay, so that means all the five causes are present here. Okay, so at the they've explained it at the Kai Yoga, the Vachan Yoga and Mano Yoga. The movement of Atma Pradesha caused by the influence of the body. Okay, if you move your hand like this, there is a corresponding activity at the soul level. Okay, movement of spatial unit of the soul is happening, and that is a cause of influx. Okay, so our monks, they most of the time they are into meditation pose. First they studied very intensely, now they have studied everything. Now they're balancing whatever is coming as a fruition of karma. Okay, whatever is their rise of karma, accordingly whatever sentiments are happening, they are practicing descriptive knowledge. They are not becoming a doer of those sentiments, they are only an observer. So what is their job? To remain as an observer. Okay, monks doesn't have any other responsibilities with them. Okay, they are purely for self introspective meditation. If they are not able to sustain that meditation, then they do write scriptures or contemplate 12 reflections, or sometimes they give advice also, instructions also. All these activities are only there just because they are not able to concentrate on the self. Okay, so their primary objective is to remain engrossed in the self, but because of the rise of karmas, past karmas, they are not able to engross themselves in the pure soul. So they indulge in such activities. Okay. So Kaya Yoga, then Vachan Yoga, the movement of asthma is caused by the speech and the movement caused by the mind. So we have discussed all things. I think this is very clear. And now this influx is of two types. One is punya and one other is pap. Okay. So as far as the soul destructing karmas are concerned, ghati karmas are concerned, there is no distinctions of punya and pap, merit and demerit. Because even at the time of manifesting auspicious sentiments, in the ghati karma, it is only causing a harm. Okay. There is no distinctions of auspicious and inauspicious in ghati karma. But in aghati karma, of course, there is a distinctions of merits and demerits. And accordingly, we bind punya and pap. Okay. If the activity is of auspicious nature, then we bind auspicious karma. If it is of inauspicious nature, then we bind inauspicious karma. Okay. This much is clear. Now, the last aphorism. So there are two types of soul state. Okay. That is the influx. It is of two types. One is sampraikasra, influx due to passions, and another is iryapata, influx due to passionless influx due to pure activities. Okay. So as discussed earlier, passion is up to the 10th stage. Okay. So we can have sampraik asrav from 1 to 10, and then we have iryapat asrav, which is from 11, 12, 13. Okay. 11, 12, 13. Now, this influx have this karma prakritis have 4 divisions. Okay. Prakriti means types, pradesh means the quantity, okay, of spatial units, then sthiti is duration, and then we have intensity. Okay. Anubhag. Prakriti, pradesh, sthiti, anubhag, 4 types of bondages. Okay. So out of these, the duration and the intensity is important, and that happens through passions. Okay. So up to passions, that is up to the 10th stage, we have sampraik influx, that is the influx with passions. Okay. And then 11, 12, 13, we have influx without passions. So passions is not there. So the duration and intensity bondages is not there. Only Prakriti and Pradesh bondage is there. Okay. That is types of and the quantity is there, but it is not impactful. Okay. So because the passions are not there, so the bondage is also not there. So they just come and go away. That is called Iryapat Asrav. Aryant Bhagwan also have that Asrav. Okay. But since passions are not there, so they are not able to give the fruits. Only it comes and goes away. Okay. Like if a wall is, you have applied oil there. Okay. And then if you throw muds at it, the mud will stick to it because the oil was there on the wall. Okay. And there is another wall where there is no oil applied there. Okay. There if you throw that mud, it will not stick, it will fall. Okay. Similarly, if there is a passions, there will be a bondage of duration and intensity. But if there is no passions, the bondage would be without intensity and without duration. So when there is no duration, the fruits doesn't come. Okay. So that is the difference between Samparaik Asrav and Iryapat Asravo. Now we will do the rest of the readings. Yoga is responsible for Prakriti Bandh. Okay. So from there we have to read and yeah. Any questions?
Yes. Uh, Sir, you explained Iryapat Asana when I understood it. But sir, when you say that Arihant Bhagwan also had Iryapat Asana,
Because he is on the 13th stage, no?
yeah. So can you give some examples as to what he
See,
went?
Aryan Bhagwan has got mind, speech, and body.
Yes, sir.
So any activity on the level of mind, speech, and body, there is a corresponding movement in the spatial units of the soul.
Yes, sir.
So because of that, there is Prakriti Bandh and Pradesh Bandh. Okay. Types and the quantity. These two gets bonded. But without duration, without intensity, it is not able to give any fruits. And that is called Iryapat Asara. Because the passions are not there with the Aryan, so they do have this Prakriti Bandh and Pradesh Bandh, okay, through the mind, speech, and body. But they don't have any impactful power because the passions is not there. Okay. So the main bondage happens because of the passions, and through passions, duration and intensity gets affected. Okay. So if there is a intense passion, intense bondage will happen. If there is a mild passion, mild bondage will happen. If there are no passions, no bondage will be happening, which will be giving you fruits. Okay. So whatever bondage is happening at the 11th, 12th, and 13th stage, they are without power. Bondage is happening. Prakriti and Pradesh Bandh is happening. Okay. Because of the mind, speech, and body activities. Okay. But it is not able to give any fruits. Okay. So that's why it is called Iryapat Asra.
So, sir, bondage has four things: duration,
Intensity. Then we have types, like how much Gyanavaran Karma will bond, how much Darsnavaran, how much Moniya, how much Antaray. Okay. So we have 8 major types of karmas, and their subdivisions altogether put is 148. Okay. So our every sentiments is doing a bondage correspondingly. Okay. And that are being divided into 8 and subtypes 148. That is called type. Now, who will decide how much quantity of Jnana Varana, how much quantity of Darshana Varana? Okay. So that is also happening automatically. Okay. Todarmalji gave a very good example. I think we have read this in 3rd chapter, that when you eat food, some portion of it gets into formation of bones, some formation of muscles, some gets converted into what you call stool, some into urine, some into blood. Who is deciding that? Nobody. It is happening automatically. You eat food and it is automatically transformed into so many things, and then something goes out through extraction, through excretion. Okay. So all these are very natural phenomena. Nobody is dividing. Depending on our sentiments, we are binding new karmas all the time. Okay. So if you want to get rid of this cycle, then you have to first get rid of delusion. Okay. So that's how the cycle will be broken, and you can get liberated. You can be free from all the karmas and you can get liberated. So Prakriti Bandh, Pradesh Bandh, Sthiti Bandh, Anubhag Bandh. So through yoga, Prakriti Pradesh Bandh is done, and through passions, Sthiti and Anubhag Bandh is done. Okay. So the bandh through yoga is not powerful. Okay. But the bondage through passions is very powerful, and it is only responsible for giving you fruits. Without passions, Prakriti Bandh doesn't give any fruit. Okay. So that we will learn later on in this chapter only, right now only. So let's go ahead with the further discussions. From here, thus in terms of the soul state, asra are of 2 types. From there, you have to read, and Jia, you read. You received a book yesterday, courier?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So we'll be referring that book also. The tragedy is that they are not sharing the PDF, because that book is supposed to come, that book is supposed to be available on Amazon. They're trying for Amazon. So they are not sharing the PDF. So we have only physical books. So I called for physical books, and those who were in India, I have dispatched. Maybe some of you have received yesterday, some will receive today. Okay. So that will be a reference book. Main book is our Tatvar Mani Pradeep only. So, but if I get a PDF, Rekha, you can try with them, Sunita or Priya
Okay.
Darshna ma'am, you know,
Okay,
to
sir.
get the PDF. Sunita is my student. She has completed Parma Governors course in 2000.
Sunita, okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Not that Sunita Bandari. This is another Sunita Sankla.
Okay, I'll
She
talk
has
to her.
done PhD at University of Madras.
I'll talk to her today, sir.
Yeah, you have picked up the book from her?
No, sir, I have yet to pick up.
Okay, I've given your number to her.
Yes,
so
sir.
you can get from her.
I'll
Okay.
do it and ask her the PDF also. So she might have the PDF, no?
No, she said no, we are not sharing PDF. That's what she told me.
Oh,
But if you
okay.
check with Priya ma'am, I think something will work out. You tell them there are
She
many students
will not
overseas.
share, sir. She
Huh?
for sure. If she said no, means she will not share, sir.
Okay.
Priya ma'am will surely not share.
Okay. So I told them that there are many overseas students also. So how they will get? But I think once it's gets listed on Amazon, or then I think you can order. But it's a nice book in charts and tables. You have got Hindi version also, right? White book. So that is the English translation of that. Okay. Okay. Now start reading, Jia.
Yes, sir. Thus, in terms of the soul state, ashrava is of two types. Sampradayik ashrava, influx due to passions, and Iryapat ashrava, passionless, influx due to pure activities. Yog is responsible for Prakriti Bandh and Pradesh Bandh, bondage of karma particles, while Kashaya is responsible for Sthiti Bandh, bondage of duration, and Anubhag Bandh, bondage of intensity. As stated, um, among these Prakriti, Sthiti, Anubhag, and Pradesh, these four define the types of karma bondage. Among them, Prakriti and Pradesh bondage occur due to Yog, while Sthiti and Anubhag bondage occur due to Kashaya. Here, a question may arise: are yoga and kashaya the only cause of bondage, or are there any other factors as well? Mithya darshan, false belief, avirati, non-restraint, pramad, negligence, kashay, passions, and yog. These are the five causes of bandh, meaning they are the states that lead to the influx, ashrav of karma. Another question arises: why is there a difference between the statements of Dravya Sangraha and this text in the 8th chapter? The answer is not only in Dravya Sangraha, but even in the second sutra of the 8th chapter of this very text, it is stated: when associated with Kashay, the Jeev attracts karmic matter, karma putkal, and this process is called bandh. A detailed explanation of these sutras from the 8th chapter will be given at the appropriate place. However, for now, it should be understood that the term Kashai here does not refer only to the Kashai passions alone, but rather to everything that culminates in Kashai. These include Mithyatva, false belief, Avirati, non-restraint, Pramad, negligence, and Kashai passions. The reason for this is that the Sampraik ashram, influx that leads to worldly existence, is not caused solely by Kashai passions, but by all four: Mithyatva, Avirati, Pramad, and Kashai. From the first Gunastan spiritual stage to the 10th Gunastan, Sampraik ashram occurs along with Sthiti and Anubhag Bandh, duration and intensity of bondage, because up to that stage, Kashaya remains present. However, beyond this, from the 11th to the 13th Gunastan, since Kashaya is absent, Iryapati ashram, auspicious influx of karma occurs, which is free from Sthiti and Anubhag Bandh.
So there is a very good difference between Sampraik Asrav and Iryapat Asrav given in the other textbook that you can see. I will share the page, okay? It's on page number 100 and 106. Okay. So I'll just take a photograph and share in the group, or Himali, you can take a photograph and share in the group so everyone would see. So the difference is given here. What is the difference between Sampraik Asrav and Niryapat Asrav, that we will study later on. Let's move on to the Sampraik Asrav. So they will now discuss these two types of influx. One is Sampraik Asrav. So there are 39 causes for this Sampraik Asrav. So there are 39 causes which leads to the bondage, or bondage means influx and bondage of this karma. Okay. So the influx of karma is just because there are 39 subtypes of this Sampraik Asrav that we are going to discuss now. We are on to the next page now, Hemali.
So I've shared the picture if you want to discuss that.
Okay, so you can share immediately, we will see. Okay, everyone see from their mobile. Okay. Page number 106, Sampraik Asrav and Niryapat Asrav. Who is the doer of this? Swami. Sampraik Asrav, the passions. Okay. Iryapat, without passions. Cause, yog, with false belief. Non-observance of vows, that is non-restraint. Very good. Non-restraint. Okay. Then negligence, passions with activities. Okay. Iryapat Asrav, only the cause is yog, because the passion has gone. 10th up to 10th, passions was there. 11th, 12th, 13th, only yoga is there. Okay. In the 14th, yoga is also not there. Okay. Okay. Then causes. What it causes? Transmigration. Birth and death, birth and death. Okay. And in Iryapat Asrav, what it does? Influx of karma without bondage. Now there you can imagine a position where there is influx of karma but no bondage. Generally we believe that there is an influx of karma, there is a bondage. But here it says that there are certain karmas, the influx is there but the bondage is not there. Because the chief cause of bondage was passions, and that has gone, so there is no bondage. Okay. Even when you manifest right belief, along with right belief, along with delusion, the first quadruplet of passions, infinite bonding passions, Anantanubandhi Kashai, that has gone. Okay. So that to that level, the bondage is not happening. That we discussed very clearly in the previous classes. Okay. Now, what are the types? 4 types of bondage takes place: nature, prakriti, intensity, anubhag, duration, sthiti, and quantum, pradesh. Okay. Nature, prakriti, pradesh, quantum, sthiti, duration, and then intensity. Okay. Only 2 types of bondage takes place: nature and quantum type. Okay. Passions are not there, so duration doesn't happen, and the intensity also is not happening. Gunasthan, 1st to 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. The last one, illustration. Mud, karmic particle, sticking to the wall, smeared with oil. Oil is referred to as passions. Okay. Mud does not trick on the plain dry wall. Why? Because the passions are not there. Oil is not there. Okay. So this type of influx comes and goes without giving any bondage. Okay. That is called Iryapat Asra. So the chief, what would be our strategy? First, to get rid of delusion. So along with delusion, 99% of passions goes away. Okay. So our major thing goes away. Okay. Rest of is only a formality. How much passion is left over? 1 drop in an ocean. Okay. That is Sem5's language. Okay. But generally speaking, also the bondage is very minuscule once so our effort should be to get rid of delusion, because along with delusion, the Anantanubandhi passions also goes away. So whatever remains is very little bit, and that's only a formality. Okay. So within 2-3 births or 4 births, at least you will get liberated. So Jia, you are onto some project where you will not be taking birth again. You know, if you take birth, then there is like, dislike, expectations, so many things, right? And there is no birth, you will get liberated, soul will remain eternal. We are all soul, we are not the body. Okay, the body gets dissociated and the body gets associated. We don't get associated also and we don't get dissociated also. We are eternal, untouched, untouched by body, untouched by karma, untouched by any association, because soul is unique in itself. Okay, its oneness never goes away. It is always unique, one only. It never gets attached to anybody. Okay, so that is the true nature of the soul. Okay, so the first target would be to get rid of delusion and everything will follow. Now this chart only you can see the last part, 39 types of Sampraik Asrav. Okay, so in this chart it has been given very nicely. See 5 senses. Okay, so you know 5 senses: touch, taste, smell, vision, sound. Then we have 4 passions: anger, conceit, deceit and greed, major 4 passions. Okay, then we have 5 vowlessness, that means 5 sins: violence, untruth, theft, non-celibacy and non-possession. Okay, so hinsa, jhoot, chori, kushil and parigrah. So why they have written non-possession? It should be possession. Okay, because they are showing as 5 woelessness. That's why they have mentioned in this way, but actually it is the 5 sins. 5 sins are a cause of influx. Which influx? Sampraik influx. Okay. If I get I have not checked it, I will get a good name in English. I'll mention you what Sampraik Asrav is stated in English. Okay. Then we have 25 actions. Now this is what I want to refer to, this other book, for these 25 actions. In Tatvat Mani Pradeep, all these 25 actions are mentioned, but here it's in a chart form. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 into 5. Okay. So these are 25 actions. First 5 are different actions. Then second bracket is violent actions. 5 types of violent action. 5 types of sensual enticements, then 5 types of defiling actions, and 5 types of deviating actions. So this has been very nicely categorized here, and in the next page also you can see these 25 activities. But let's connect to Tatvat Mani Pradeep and see these 25 activities. This is aphorism number 5. Okay. We will do 5 activities at a time. Okay, we'll refer this chart also and the Tatvat Mani Pradeep also. First we will read from Tatvat Mani Pradeep, 5 actions. Okay, first 5 actions, and then of course we will do another 5 actions. So similarly we will finish 25 actions. Okay, so starting from the Sampraik Asrav, the discussion on Sampraik Asrav is being started, and after finishing Sampraik Asrav we will also discuss Idyapat Asrav. Okay, so then that will be up to aphorism number 9, and that is what we are going to finish up to today. Okay, so Sampraik Asrav. Malti ji, you read.
Yes, sir. Sampraik Ashrav, influx caused by passions. Now, while discussing Sampraik Ashrav, the sutra states as follows: Indra Kashaya Vrat Kriya Pankha Chatu Pankha Pank. No, so I can't read. The 5 senses. Yeah.
No problem.
The 5 senses, 4 passions, Kashai, 5 non restraints, Avrati, and 25 activities, Kriya. These are the classifications of
Sampraik Asrav.
Sampraik Astra. The 5 senses.
Asrav means
Indriya.
influx. Okay. So these 39 are the causes of influx with passions. Okay. Sampraik Asrav we can say in English right now, influx with passion. If I get a one word for Sampraik, I will definitely inform you. But right now we can know the meaning Sampraik Asrav means influx with passion. And Iryapat Asrav means influx without
That's
passion.
without passion.
Okay, carry on.
The five senses, Indriya, are touch, sparsh, taste, rasna, smell, ghrand, sight, chakshu, and hearing, karn. The four passions, kashai, are anger, krodh, pride, man, deceit, maya, and greed, lobh. The five avrati, non-restraints, are the abandonment of five major sins: violence, hinsa, falsehood, asatya, stealing, chori, adultery, abhram or kushil, and possessiveness, that is parigrah. The discussion of the senses, passions, and non-restraints has either already been covered or will be covered in due course. Now let us discuss the 25 activities, that is kriya. Right belief activity, Samyaktva Kriya, auspicious activities that enhance right belief, such as the worship of the true deity, the spiritual teacher, guru, and the scriptures, are called right belief activity. False belief activity, Mithyatva Kriya. Activities such as the praise or worship of other deities, which arise due to the manifestation of false belief, are called false faith activity. Prayog activity, Prayog Kriya, activities involving movement, coming and going, and other bodily engagements carried out through the body and similar means are called Prayog activity. Laxity activity, Samadhan Kriya, the orientation of a restrained person, that is Samyata, towards non-restraint, Avirati, is called laxity activity. Auspicious influx activity, Iryapat Kriya, actions that contribute to an auspicious influx of karma are called Iryapat activity.
Stop.
Violent outbursts.
Stop. So we have covered the first 5 activities, first 5 actions. Okay. Kriya. Now, these are headed, the heading given for these 5 is different kinds of activities. Now, the other 20 are coming, they have a specific theme, like the actions prompted by violent thoughts. So, all the 5 activities would be regarding violent thoughts. Okay. Then we have activities related to sensual enticement. So, again, that bracket. Okay. So, these is not specific any bracket heading, but it has been mentioned as different kinds of activity. So here, if you see right belief activity, okay, so auspicious activity, these and the fifth one, first and the fifth one are auspicious activities, okay, rest all are inauspicious activities. So first one is auspicious activities that enhance right belief. So now you are studying, so this is an auspicious activity, because it is going to enhance right belief. It's going to take you towards right belief, right? So this is such as the worship of true deity, the spiritual teacher, and the scripture. So we are now into scriptures. So it is an auspicious activity, and it is also called right belief activity. Okay. Then it's not the right belief, but it's an activity which is going to lead you towards right belief. Okay. The second one is false belief. Activities such as the praise or worship of other deities, okay, false god, false scriptures, and false monk, okay, which arise due to the manifestation of false belief, delusion, are called false faith activity. Then prayog activity, activities involving movement, coming and going, and other bodily engagements carried out through the body and similar means are called prayog activity. So similar means body, speech, and mind. Okay. We have 3 things to express: body, speech, and mind. Okay. The delusion is at the belief level. Okay. Avirati, again it is at the body level. Okay. Then pramad, negligence, is again at the knowledge level or mind level, we can say, right? Then we have passions also, that are also manifested at the soul level or mind level, we can say. Then we have yoga, that is mind, speech, and body. So that is a pure matter substance activity. Okay. Now this prayoga activity involving movement, coming and going. So this is a body activity. Laxity activity, the orientation of a restrained person towards non-restraint. So earlier you were a restrained person, Sanyam. Now you are moving towards non-Sanyam. Earlier you were not eating in non-veg restaurant, but now you started eating in non-veg restaurant. So there is a laxity. This is called laxity activity. Okay. So these are like that. I just given an example. Okay. The orientation of a restrained person. So the orientation of a restrained person, samyak, sanyat, okay, sanyat, it is called sanyat also, towards non-restraint, avirati, is called laxity activity. Fifth one, auspicious influx activity. Actions that contributes to an auspicious influx of karma are called iryapat activity. Okay. So iryapat passion and iryapat activity, these are two different. Okay.
Yeah, that's what
Actions
I was
that
saying. So Iryapat activity is without passions. So how
no
can it be?
no. Here it is passions because it is an auspicious
Okay.
influx. No. So auspicious influx is again a type of passion. So that's why I mentioned that iryapat asrav, iryapat influx and iryapat activity are two different things. Okay. Iryapat asrav means the influx without passion. But here it is with passion. It is an auspicious activity. Only thing is that there is going to be an auspicious bondage because of that. Now we are coming on to the 6 to 10. Okay. So these are 5 activities again, 5 actions prompted by violent thoughts, hinsa. Okay. Violent thoughts. Now, Hemali, you read 6 to 10. Violent outburst activity from there.
Yes, sir. Violent outburst activity. Pradosiki Kriya. Activity that occurs due to the surge or agitation of anger is called Pradosiki activity. Bodily activity. Kayaki Kriya. Making effort through the body while accompanied by malicious or impure intention is called bodily activity. Eighth, instrumental activity. Adhikaranika Karniki Kriya. Taking up the means or instruments of violence is called instrumental activity. Afflictive activity. Paritapiki Kriya. That activity which becomes the cause for the arising of suffering is called afflictive activity. The last 10th one is life destroying activity. Pranati Patiki Kriya, activity that causes the separation of life forces, prana, in the form of lifespan, sense faculties, respiration, and strength is called life destroying activity. Is that suicide?
So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All these 5 activities are prompting violence. Okay. So these are called actions prompted by violent thoughts. Okay. It's all very simple. Now we will move on to the next 5. That is activity related to sensual enticements. Okay. That attracts to the sensual pleasures. So these kind of activity, that is 11th to 15th. Pratibhaji, you read.
11th, seeing activity, darshana kriya, the intention of a negligent person, pramadi, under the influence of attachment to view pleasing forms is called seeing activity. Number 12, touching activity, sparshana kriya, the engagement due to negligence with conscious object fit to the touch is called touching activity. Number 13, casual generation activity. Pratyayiki kriya, producing new bases or instruments, adhikarna, is called casual generation activity. 14, continuity causing activity. Samantanupat kriya, discharging internal excrete in places where man, woman, and animals move about come and go, or sit and stand is called continuity causing activity. Number 15, inattentive activity. Anabhog Kriya. Placing the body or other object on ground that has not been swept or inspected is called inattentive activity.
So stop. Okay. So these 5 activities were inducing sensual pleasures. Okay. Now the next 5 defiling actions while taking to dharma charan. Okay. We will read from here only. So this is 2016. 16 to 20. Who is left over? Rekha.
Yes, sir. Self-performance activity, Swahasta Kriya. Personally performing an action that ought to be done by others is called self-performance activity. Donation for wrongdoing activity, Nisarga Kriya. Giving wealth for the purpose of specific wrongful activity, such as providing means for sinful acts is called donation for wrongdoing activity. Exposure activity, Vidarana Kriya. Publicly disclosing a blameworthy act committed by another is called exposure activity. Violation of command activity, Agna Vyapadiki Kriya. Due to the rise of conduct eluding karma, Charitra Mohaniya, when one is unable to follow the scriptural injunctions regarding obligatory practices, Avashayika and the like, and therefore presents them there otherwise. That is called violation of command activity. Indifferent activity, Anakansha Kriya, showing disrespect for the method prescribed in the scriptures due to cunning, deceitfulness, or laziness is called indifferent activity.
So see, all these activities will lead to you influx of karmas. Okay. If we are not aware, if we are not vigilant, okay, these things do happen, and because of that we will binding karmas, influx of karmas, and these are all going to be inauspicious karma, disrespecting the scriptures, misrepresenting the scriptures when one is unable to follow, you know. So all other types of faults, this kind of any religious activities which we are doing it with laxity or with proper without understanding is all this kind of activities. Now the last 5, 21 to 25, deviating actions, okay, that make one to go against dharma. So this is again similar kind of things, okay. So these 21 to 25, again we come back to Amita ji.
Initiatory activities. Being personally engaged in actions such as cutting, piercing, and the like, and feeling joy when such actions are performed by others is called initiatory activity. 22. Possessive maintenance activity. Activity undertaken so that possessions, parigraha, are not destroyed is called possessive maintenance activity. 23. Deceptive activity, Maya Kriya. Deception regarding knowledge, perception, darshan, etc. is termed deceptive activity. 24. False view reinforcement activity, Mithya Darshan Kriya. Strengthening a person who is equipped with the means of false view, Mithya Darshan, by praise and similar encouragement, affirming that you are doing rightly, is called false view reinforcement activity. Non-renunciation activity. Apratyakhana Kriya. The absence of renunciatory dispositions, Tyaga Rupa Parinam, due to the rise of karmas that destroy restraint, samyam, is called non-renunciation activity.
So
Acharya Puja,
these are the five activities, okay, which deviates you uh, to towards the religion. Okay, so you were onto the religion, but somehow you got deviated and went into some false, we can say false path, you know. So you were going on to the right path, but you were derailed by someone and you are into now the wrong path. So false view reinforcement activity. Strengthening a person who is equipped with the means of false view, okay, by praise and similar encouragement, affirming that you are doing rightly. So if you do such things, all these activities are mentioned. One thing I want to ask, all this is Charnan Yoga or Karnan Yoga? Which exposition would you consider all these activities, 25 actions?
Charnano Yoga.
Yes. If you see the actions, it is Charnan Yoga. But if you connect it to the karma, it will become, because there is a corresponding influx of karma. Okay. So if you see the influx of karma, because these are all causes of influx of karma. So if you see from the karmic point of view, then it is Karnan Yoga. Okay. But here, the Acharya Umaswamy is showing us our mistakes. Okay, these are the mistakes you do. Okay. So if you do such mistakes, you will bind such karmas and that karma will come into fruition, then you will suffer. Okay. So it is Charnan Yoga from the perspective of the sentiments that you manifest, and it is Karnan Yoga from the karmas that you bind. Okay, from that perspective. So these 25 activities and the others all put together is 39. 39 causes of Sampraik Asra, influx with passions. Okay. In all these activities, somewhere or the other, passions are involved. Without passion, such activities cannot be done. Now we'll be discussing something which is being done without passions, but still there is a bondage which is called Iryapat Asra. Now before that, there is one more thing.
So I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
These 25 types of kriya, no, sir, activities. So need to be very watchful that no, are we performing these 25 or not, like that?
Yeah, see, this is mentioned just because you have to be aware what you are doing. Like you have to be aware about your mind, speech, and body. Through mind, speech, and body, what you are doing, right?
Yes,
so so these are the, you can say, indications for us to realize where we are going. Okay. So if you understand this, then automatically you will renounce these activities, right? Because
correct.
you know that this is going to be a cause of inauspicious bondage. Now, if you are committing sin, see, in all these 39, if you see, 5 are the sinful activities. Okay. 4 kind of passions, 5 types of sensual pleasures. So what is all this? These are all causes of influx of karma. Okay. And all these are inauspicious karma, except the first activity and the 5th activity. All of the 25 actions are inauspicious in nature. You are binding inauspicious karma. Okay. So these are mentioned in this way to make you aware that if you don't follow this, then you will bind such karmas, and then when it will come into fruition, you will suffer. So if you don't want to suffer, then you restrain, right? You avoid such activities, you renounce such activities. That's all. Okay. Now the 6th number aphorism, next page, Tatvat Mani Pradeep. Specificity in the nature of influx. Okay. So now this influx also varies. Okay. Because of these following 6 factors. Sometimes your influx is very intense because your passions are intense. So influx is intense. If the passions are mild, the influx is mild. Okay. So this keeps on changing because of these 6 factors that are mentioned here. So let's discuss this. And Madhuji, you read.
Yes, sir. Specificity in the nature of influx. Ashraf Bhav. After discussing the causes and types of influxes, that is ashara, their specific characteristics are now explained. Because of distinctions such as intense disposition, तीव्र भाव, mild dispositions, मंद भाव, known disposition, uh, not, ज्ञाता भाव, unknown disposition, अज्ञाता भाव, instrumental basis, that is adhikaran, and vigor, virya. Specificity arises in the nature of influx, that is ashrav bhav. That is, differentiation occurs within it. 1. The intensity of passions, such as anger, krodh, and the like, is called intense disposition, tivra bhav. 2. The mildness of these passions is called mild disposition, that is mand bhav. 3. Acting after knowing in this manner, I should harm this living being, is known as disposition, that is gyata bhav. 4. When one acts out of ignorance, intoxication, or negligence, mand or pramad, mada or pramad, without awareness, is called the unaware disposition, agyata bhav. 5. The medium or instrument through which actions are performed is called adhikarna. 6. The specific inherent power of a substance is called vigor, that is virya. Due to these factors, distinctions arise in the modes of influx, that is ashar bhav. Differentiation occurs among them. Even in the influx of karma that arises from any one of the causes mentioned in the previous aphorism, namely the five sense faculties, indriya, the four passions, kashai, the five minor vows, anuvrat, and the 25 activities, kriya, differences occur because of factors such as intense disposition, tivra bhav, and mild disposition, mand bhav, from intense disposition, greater influx, ashrav, arises, and from mild disposition, lesser influx arises, from known disposition, gyata bhav, greater influx arises, and from unknown disposition, agyata bhav, lesser influx arises. From instrumental basis, that is adhikarna, that function as means possess greater capacity for violence, greater influx arises, whereas from instrumental basis possessing lesser capacity for violence, lesser influx arises. Specific power is called vigor, that is virya. Through acts such as violence carried out with greater vigor, greater influx arises, and through acts such as violence carried out with lesser vigor, lesser influx arises.
So you see, it depends on the intensity. Okay, if it is a mild passion, then there will be mild bondage. If it is an intense passion, intense bondage. So again, all these bondages is depend on the kind of passions that we are manifesting. Okay, so we have intense disposition, mild disposition, then known disposition. Even knowing you are doing wrong things, then you bind much more karmas. Then there are some karmas we are binding without knowing it, right? So then it will be of lesser stature, okay? But knowing and doing is a bigger crime than not knowing and doing. But having said that, not knowing, that means you are not excused, because karma don't have any excuses, okay? It will bind whatever sentiments you do, it will bind whether you are knowing it or not knowing it. If you are knowing it and doing it, you will bind intense karmas. If you are not knowing and still doing it, then also you will bind karmas, but uh, the level will be lesser. That's all. Okay. Then because of ignorance also we bind many types of karmas. Because of negligence also we are binding many karmas. Without awareness also we are binding many karmas. The medium or instrument through which actions are performed is called adhikaran. Now this is very important. The medium or instrument through which actions are performed is called adhikaran. That's why adhikaran is explained in the next aphorism. Okay. All the other 5 are not explained because it is very clear from the name itself that what its function is. But adhikaran is something that we are going to discuss, and the adhikaran will be discussing at 2 levels, one at the soul's level and one at the non-soul level. Okay, so that is the next aphorism that we are coming on to. The medium or instrument through which actions are performed. Okay, Aadhar. Adhikaran means Aadhar. Okay, the medium or instrument through which actions are performed is called adhikaran. So there are 2 categories. One is Jeev, another is Ajeev. Okay, so that would be the next 3 words, 7, 8, 9, and then we will close for today. Okay, so okay, Pratibhaji, you read. Adhikaran.
Okay. Adhikaran, contextual medium. After discussing the distinguishing attributes in Ashrabhav, influx of karmas, we now examine the mediums, adhikaran, of influx, which are as follow. Can I skip that?
Yeah.
The basis of other or of Ashra are Jiva, living beings, and Ajiv, non-living entities. Thus, Adhikaran is of 2 types. Jivadhikaran, living mediums. Number 2, Ajivadhikaran, non-living mediums. The initiation Adi or Aramba of Jivadhikaran is of 108 types derived from the following factors. Samaramba, intention, Samaramba, preparation, and Aramba, execution, 3 types. Man, mind, Vachan, speech, and Kaya, body, 3 types. Krita, direct action, Karita, getting it done by others, and Anumodna, applaud, 3 types. Krodh, anger, Mana, pride, Maya, deceit, and Lobh, greed, 4 passions. Thus, the total calculation is 3 times 3 times 3 times 4 is 108 types of Jivadhikaran. On the other hand, Ajivadhikarana, non-living mediums, consist of following distinctions. Number 1, Nirvartan, creation, equipment, 2 types. Nikshepa, placement, 4 types. Samyoga, association, 2 types. Nisarga, natural occurrence. Projection, 3 types. The previous sutra mentioned adhikaran, and now this concept is being further clarified based on the foundation Adhar. Ashra is of 2 types. Number 1, Jivasrav, influx caused by living being. Ajivasrav, influx caused by non-living entities. Here 108 types of Jivasrav are specified. The idea is that karmic influx occurs due to these 108 mental, verbal, and bodily activities of living being. Therefore, Jivasrav is also known as Bhavasrav, influx due to mental disposition. In our daily recitation, Alokna path, we chant. I'm sorry, I'm going to skip that. The determination to perform an action is called samaramba. Gathering the necessary means is samaramba, and initiating the action is aramba. Performing the action oneself is krita. Getting it done by others is karita. Applauding the completed action is anumodna. The distinctions of man, mind, vachan, speech, kaya, body, and the 4 kashayas, passions, have already been clarified. By multiplying all these factors, we get 108 divisions. The idea is that by considering the 4 passions, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, and the 3 modes, Krita, Karita, Anumodna, The engagements of Kaya, Vachan, and Man in Samaramba, and Aramba creates 36 distinctions for each. The 12 types of Kasaramba are.
Stop. So first let's discuss this much and then we will continue with the permutations and combinations. Okay. So what are the causes of influx we were discussing, and among them, what are the factors that make changes? There were 6: mild passions, intense passions, and so forth. In that there was one adhikaran, and that's we are discussing now. That adhikaran means contextual medium. Okay. So these are two types, living and non-living. So we are discussing now living, okay, which is of 100 types. Okay. The initiation of Jivadikaran, okay, that means soul or uh, living beings, okay, is of 100 types derived from the following factors. So how this 108 number has come? Sambaram, intention. So before doing any activity, okay, the last week we also studied about 7 nays, Naigamadi, 7 nays, okay. In that, what was Naigam nay? Only by just making the intention, like he was going to the forest to fetch woods, and then he will fire it up and then he will cook the rice. So somebody asks, what are you doing? So I'm cooking rice. Now he has not gone to the forest, not brought the branches of the trees to light it up and then, you know, actually cook the rice. So these are the types of, there are viewpoints which discusses this way. So sambaram also means the intention. Okay. So before doing any activity, we do have an intention, like you want to go to office. So now as we finish the class, you know that you have to go this, you have to do that, and then you will start for your office. So there are a lot of things planned out, right? So that is called intention, sambharam. Okay. With sambharam also you are binding karmas. Then preparation. Next step is the preparation. First the thought came to your mind that I want to go there. Okay. Then preparation for that. Now if you want to go to a mall, just thought came to your mind that let's go to that mall and buy such things. So that is a thought. Then the next is the preparation. What budget, how much money you have to take along, or you will pay by credit card, debit card, so many things. That's the preparation. And then exactly the aramb, execution. Then you go buy, give money and come back. So that is called execution. So all these involves influx of karmas. Okay, these are one of the factors of the influx of karmas. Then what are the other factors? Mind, speech and body. Because any activity that you will do, okay, the soul will do, that will be expressed through mind, speech and body. Okay, so that's another medium. Okay, then the third medium is either you are doing yourself, that is called direct action, krit. Then you are getting it done by others. You are not doing it, but you are getting it done by others. That is called karit. Just now I said, Hemal, you share that, take up a photo and share. Okay, so I am not doing it, but I am getting done. Okay, so again, that is called karit. Then anumodna. I am not doing it. I am neither telling anybody to do it, but somebody else is doing on its own. I am just applauding. Okay, appreciating, whatever. So these are the three types. That is also a cause of bondage. Okay, in fact, krit, karit, anumodna, it is being said that they fetches same kind of results. Whether you are doing yourself or somebody else is doing, you are getting it done by others, or somebody else is doing and you are just applauding, you are getting the same results. If it is an auspicious activity, you will bind auspicious karma. If somebody is hanging somebody, right, and you are there and watching it, then also you are binding those karma of killing that person. Okay, so whether it is auspicious or inauspicious, in both the cases you are incurring influx of karma. So this is the third category of activities. Then the fourth, the passions. Of course, passions binds karma, and all these 3 into 3 into 3 into 4 passions, major passions. Okay, all put together is 100 types of Jeev Adhikaran. These are some of the things that soul is involved in it. Okay. So this is called Jeev Adhikaran. Now we will see the Ajeev Adhikaran also. Okay. That is coming up. On the other end, Ajeev Adhikaran, non-living mediums, consist of the following distinctions. Nirvatan, Nirvatranam.
सर आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन. ये अपन जैसे अपलॉडिंग बोलते हैं तो लाइक व्हाट हैपेंस इन आवर फैमिली लाइफ समवन हैज प्रिपेयर्ड सम डिश एंड वी प्रेज वो भी पाप में ही आता है. ऐसे में प्रैक्टिस
See, there are some things which are unavoidable at householders level. Okay.
राइट.
तो आप बात नहीं करेगा तो ऐसा तो नहीं चलेगा ना. You have to, घर पे कुछ कोई बना रहे हैं तो either you appreciate और कुछ क्रिटिसाइज कभी कुछ करते हैं.
हाँ तो इन्फ्लक्स हो गया ना सर.
तो इन्फ्लक्स तो
प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में
when there is a speech activity, there is a corresponding movement in the spatial units of the soul. आत्म प्रदेशों का कंपन. ओके. तो माइंड में थॉट्स आएगा तो भी कंपन होगा, वचन से बोलेंगे तो भी कंपन होगा, एंड बॉडी की एक्शन करोगे तो भी. इवन इफ यू पुट ए पैट ऑन योर चिल्ड्रंस, that is also an activity. So everything is binding karma. These are the causes of influx. Okay. So
तो स्टेज तो बढ़ता ही है ना सर.
हाँ,
बाय प्रेजिंग स्टेज और बढ़िया इन्फ्लक्स का.
बढ़ गया कि कम हो गया, बट यू कैनॉट अवॉइड ना, सर्टेन थिंग्स यू कैनॉट अवॉइड. अपना
ये
लोक
चीज
व्यवहार
बहुत बार
कैसे
मन में
चलेगा?
आती है. हाँ, ये चीज बहुत बार मन में आती है कि प्रेस करना कि नहीं
इसमें
करना.
आपको भेद विज्ञान, इफ यू वांट टू प्रैक्टिस डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव नॉलेज इन दिस केस, यू हैव टू डिस्क्रिमिनेट that I am not the doer of mind, speech and body. You disconnect from here only. It is happening, I am knowing, but I am not doing it. Okay. So you don't worry for the bondages of karma. If you become a doer of this mind, speech and activity, then only you are binding karmas. If you don't become a doer, then you are not binding karmas. Right? First you have to decide, no, whether these activities are belonging to me or not. If you are a pure soul, your activity is to know. Then if you are knowing it, it's good. But if you consider yourself to be a body, or you consider yourself that you are the doer of all these activities, then you are binding karmas. Because the first wrong belief is there, no? The activities are happening of mind, speech and body, and you are telling that it is my activity. तब तो कर्म बंद होगा, राइट?
मतलब फैमिली में रह के भी दूर.
तो फर्स्ट टेल मी वन थिंग, सोल फैमिली में रहता है कि नहीं रहता है?
वो तो है सर.
सोल बॉडी में रहता है कि नहीं रहता है?
वो भी है. बट वही है, बस इसमें कर्ता भाव नहीं रखना है कि हम प्रेस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन
सोल इज डिफरेंट. सोल इज ए डिफरेंट एंटिटी. इट्स जस्ट नोइंग. Nothing else is happening at the soul level. Even if we went to one sensed being, हमारा कुछ बिगड़ा नहीं. We are fully secured. Same number of attributes was there. It is also here, and also when we will get liberated, same number of attributes will remain in the soul. Okay.
वो तो yes, लेकिन सर भाव तो आया ना प्रेस करने का.
भाव आपके हाथ में नहीं है ना. So you see, if you are practicing discriminative knowledge, then you will not take responsibility of these activities, right? And if you take responsibilities of these activities, then it means you are a doer. So if you are a doer, although you are not a doer, but you are believing yourself to be a doer, then of course you are committing a crime. Okay. And you will be punished with karmas, bondages. Okay. तो पहले ही अपने को पूरा भेद विज्ञान करो कि I am a pure soul, and if I am a pure soul, my function is just to know. Nothing goes beyond that. Right? So if you are firmly established with that thought, then you go and proceed. We have, according to the situations in our life, we do have emotions coming up, right? We cannot avoid those emotions. अगर अपने बच्चे को बुखार आया है तो माँ को चिंता होगी.
वो तो है सर.
So those are very natural things, natural phenomena. But first place में आपको वहीं से भेद विज्ञान करो कि you are not the doer. चिंता का भी doer नहीं हो आप. चिंता is happening. You are worried. Okay?
Yes.
But
Yes.
you are not the doer of that worry.
तो प्रतिक्रिया दिए तो भी मतलब कैसे डिफरेंस मैं
So,
समझ गई व्हाट यू ट्राइंग टू से लेकिन
हाँ, because when you
प्रतिक्रिया
ask
में
me specifically, I have to answer the truth, right?
हाँ
So you have to practice discriminative knowledge that you are a pure soul and your function is just to know. Okay? तो प्रतिक्रिया हुआ, reactions हुआ, then also you are a knower. नहीं हुआ, then also you are a knower. Worry हुआ, then also you are a knower. You are not the doer, no? So where is
हाँ
the problem?
अच्छा
Problem only arises when we don't believe ourselves to be a soul. We believe ourselves to be a body. We believe ourselves to be a mother. We believe ourselves to be a job doer. We believe ourselves to be a husband, a father. These are the source of problems, causes of problems. What you believe, that it depends
बट
on that, no?
या हाँ समझ गए
So we have to change the belief. We don't have to change the activities. We don't have to change the mind, speech, and body because it is not in our hand. It's happening
राइट
automatically. Thoughts are coming automatically. We don't have any control. Okay, now this from 9 to 10, I will have only auspicious thoughts. No, not possible.
ओके
So
अच्छा
what is not in our hand, why unnecessary drag responsibilities on that?
अच्छा वी वर अर्लियर टोल्ड लाइक दिस कि प्रतिक्रिया करना भी पाप है मतलब कि
No,
प्रेजिंग
see,
आल्सो
प्रतिक्रिया हो जाए, देखो, करना अलग बात हो गया और होना अलग बात है. As I said, कि if the
ओके
child is getting a fever, mother will definitely worried because this is a very natural phenomena. Because
या
I have attachment to my child, not the neighbor's child. If the neighbor's child is sick, how much you are worried?
या द इंटेंसिटी विल बी लेस ऑन मी
So like that. So it all depends what you believe yourself to be. Okay.
ओके
Now, these are all Charnan Yoga, Karnan Yoga that we are discussing. We are not discussing now Dravyan Yoga. But that doesn't mean that you will forget Dravyan Yoga. Okay. So, don't go flow with the flow. Remain very stable, firmly rooted in the Dravyan Yoga that you are a pure soul and you are only a knower. At the base, you are a knower, whether you believe it or you don't believe it. You don't become a doer. Okay. But the scriptures are written in all the 4 expositions, and each exposition has got its unique way of presenting things. So this is being presented. Okay. So we have this 108 activities through which the karmas are uh, coming, influx of karmas is happening. And then we have another category called Ajivadikaran that we are going to discuss now. So it is of 4 types. Nirvatana.
थैंक यू
Nirvatan means creation, rachna karna. That is of 2 types. Okay. Then we have nikshep. Nikshep means just to place. Pichi kamandal. Dekh ke rakhna, nahi dekh ke rakhna. Okay. So these are called placement, nikshep. 4 types. The earlier nikshep that we studied, in the starting of the aphorisms on first chapter, that was different, and this nikshep is different. Here nikshep only means placement. Okay. Now, if you sit on a place, what first we do, first we will see that the place doesn't carries any insects. Okay. इसलिए एक पीछे रखते हैं साधु लोग, वो पीछे से जमीन को ऐसा साफ करते हैं. Okay. And then they sit, and we should also sit that way. Okay. But अगर awareness नहीं है तो कैसे भी बैठ जाएंगे. ठीक है. So all these are activities of mind, speech and body. Principally, this belongs to Charnan Yoga. And if you relate it to the karma, then it is Karnan Yoga. Okay. But simultaneously, there is something happening at the soul level. And that is Dravyan Yoga. What's happening at the soul level? Madhuji, you tell me what is happening at the soul level?
हाँ सर आई वाज राइटिंग व्हाट यू वर सेइंग व्हाट डिड यू आस्क सर
What is happening? So these activities of mind, speech and body, these are
या
all Charnan Yoga discussions. Okay. And if you connect it to the karmas, then it will become Karnan Yoga.
Kanani yes
But what is it at Dravyan Yoga at the same time? What is happening at the soul level?
It is not affecting our soul.
Not affecting. Then you are doing it or not doing it?
नहीं, कर्ता भाव नहीं है.
So you don't worry, no? You are a knower.
Hmm.
There is something happening at the soul level, and that is only the knowing activity.
Yeah.
Okay?
हाँ.
हाँ.
ठीक है.
Okay. So we were discussing nikshep. Nikshep means placement. These are of 4 types, and this nikshep is different from the nikshep that we have taught earlier. Okay. Then those nikshep were the tools to know the 7 fundamentals, and this nikshep is just the placement. You should be aware, there should be an awareness when you place something that small insects are not there. If you put something heavy on that, then those living beings will be killed, and you will be there will be an influx of karma. Okay. So nirvartana is a creation, nikshep placement, then have some yog, that is association. Okay. All these associations that we have got now is the result of our past deeds. Okay. It doesn't come automatically. We have done some good deed or bad deeds, and accordingly we are getting the associations. Okay. And the last one is nisarga, natural occurrence. Okay. So all these have again subdivisions. The first one is 2 types, 4 types, then 2 types, and 3 types. Now we have to read here. The previous sutra mentioned adhikaran, and now this concept is further clarified based on the foundation Adhar. Asrav is of 2 types, Jivasrav, Ajivasrav. Okay. Influx caused by living beings and influx caused by non-living things. Okay. So Jivasrav is all we have already studied on Jivasrav, Dravyasrav, and Bhavasrav. Jivasrav is Bhavasrav, psychic influx. Okay. Then we have Bhavbandh, psychic bondage. Then we have Bhav Samvar. Okay. That is called psychic stoppage, and then we have a corresponding material also. Okay. So material influx, material bondage, material stoppage, material dissociation, material liberation. Okay. So one is bhav, another one is dravya. Bhavasrav, dravyasrav, bhavbandh, dravyabandh. Okay. So there it is mentioned that only, that based on the foundation, asrav is of 2 types, jivasrav, ajivasrav. Influx caused by living beings, influx by non-living things. Here 100 types of Jivasrav are specified. The idea is that karmic influx occurs due to these 108 mental, verbal, and bodily activities of living beings. Therefore, Jivasrav is also known as Bhavasrav, influx due to mental dispositions. In our daily recitations, we chant so okay, this is taken
It's
from a prayer.
Alochna part. Alochna
Alochna
part.
part, right, Alochna part. So there
Samram
we have
samaram
used
aram.
these words
Samram
we have used
samaram
it.
aram manvach tena kina praram.
Ah,
Kritkarit modan अनुमोदन करके क्रोधादि चतुष्टय धरी के.
So all these combinations, if you multiply, it is 108. How this 108 will come, that is being explained in the below explanation. So just read those. The determination to perform an action is called, now this is being explained. The determination to perform an action is called sambaram. Gathering the necessary means is the determination to perform an action is
Samram. One is samram, one is
samram.
samaram.
Samram. In English, it doesn't make a difference. So the spellings are more or less same. But there is a diacritics. So that will means ah. Okay. So first one is sambaram. Gathering the necessary means is sambharam. And initiating the action is aramb. Then krit karit anumodna. This also we have done. Okay. So Krut Karitanodna, this also we have discussed. Now we were here, the 12 types of Kasai Kaya Arambha. Okay. So now they will take one of those three first bracket, they will take 1 out of 3. then the next 3 they will take 1, then the next 3 they will take 1, and the next 4 they will take 1. So in this way they will combine it and it will become 108. So this sample is given. The 12 types of Kaya Arambha. Okay. So Kai is common, everything else will change. So Krodh, then Man, Maya, Lobh. Okay. Then Krodh, Krut. Okay. Krut, same. Then Kaya, same. Okay. Then 1 minute, same one.
Lobe.
I'm at the starting only, Hemali. 1, 2, 4. Then the last one, okay. Sambaram, okay. So Sambaram is one. So the passions keeps on changing. Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh. Okay. So these 4 are changing. Everything else is remaining same. Krat is remaining same. Kaya is remaining same. And Sambaram is remaining same. Okay. So similarly, if you put this across, this will 12, then 12 into 3 would be 36, and 36 into 3 would be 108. So all these are just given the combinations. Okay. Now we discuss the Adhikaran. Next page. You go on to the next page. Yes. Now we discuss the non-living medium, Ajiv Adhikaran. Okay. The 4 things were there. Just now we discussed. Nivratana, Nikshep, Sanyog, and Nisarga. Okay. So we will read this. Hemali, you read.
Now we discuss non-living medium, Ajivadikaran. First one, the act of creating, constructing, or forming is called Nivartana, which includes 2 types based on distinctions of Mulagyan, primary attributes, and Uttaraguna, which is secondary attributes. The formation of Man, mind, vachan, speech, kaya, body, pran, life force, and apana, breathing, is called Mula Gun Nivartana. To create images or designs on wood, to write books, is called Uttaraguna Nirvartana. Storing something is called placement, nikshep. There are 4 types of nikshepes. The first one, storing an object without seeing. It is called placement without inspection. Apratya viksita nikshep. Storing an object carelessly with neglect is called placement without cleansing. Dushta purvaka
Duspramasa Nikshep. Last bracket one you read.
This one, sir. Okay. Dushpramasta Nikshep. Quickly storing an object due to fear or in a hurry is called sudden placement. Sahasa Nikshep. Storing an object on the ground without seeing or cleaning it is called absent-minded placement. Anabhog Nikshep. Sir, this is also without inspection, no? What is the difference between B1 and B4?
B1, storing an object without seeing is called placement without inspection. Okay. Storing an object without seeing the place, put it somewhere like this. And storing an object on the ground without seeing. So this is on the ground. The first one would be in some other place. Okay.
Question. The discussion on nikshep was presented earlier as well. The answer is, these nikshepes are distinct and represent a general way of storing things. These are forms of asra bhav, and the nikshep studied before are methods of knowledge and ways of understanding with proofs and methods. Association, samyog. The act of combining multiple objects is called association, samyog. There are 2 types of samyogs, Upkarna samyog and Bhakta Bhakta Parna Samyog. First one, combining cold hot or pure impure materials is called material related association, Upakarna Samyog. And the second one, combining Sachit and Achit foods and drinks is called diet related association, Bhaktapana Samyog. The action of initiation or beginning is called Nisarg. It is of three kinds: mental Nisarg, Mano Nisarg, verbal Nisarg, which is Vag Nisarg, and bodily Nisarg, which is Kaya Nisarg. Initiation of mental activity with negative intention is called mental Nisarg, Mano Nisarg. Initiation of verbal activity with negative intention is called verbal Nisarg, Vag Nisarg. And initiation of physical activity with negative intention is called bodily Nisarg, Kaya Nisarg. These Ajivadikaran occurs in 12 types.
11 types, no?
Sorry, 11 types.
So we have seen the differences, 2 plus 4, 6 plus 2, 8 plus 3, 11. Okay. So Jeev and Ajeev Adhikaran. So we were discussing the Ajeev Adhikaran. So the first one was Nivartana. Nivartan means creation. Okay. Nivartan means creation or equipment, but creation is a something which we can relate to. Okay. First one, A, the act of creating, constructing or forming is called equipment or creation. So creation is very apt. It's called Nirvartana. Nirvartana includes of two types based on distinctions of Mulgun and Uttargun. Mulgun is primary attributes, Uttargun is secondary attributes. The formation of mind, speech and body, life force and Apan means breathing. These are called primary attributes. To create images or designs on wood or to write books is called Uttar Gun, that is secondary attributes. Okay. So the creations are at two levels. One is at the mind, speech and body, then pran, Apan, breathing, 5 things. Okay. Is known as primary attributes of creation. And the second one is to create images or designs on wood or to write books or do some painting. All these are secondary attributes of creation. Then the second category about the placement. There are 4 types. So that all discussed. Then coming on to the third, association. Okay. So association have 2 divisions. The act of combining multiple objects is called association. Okay. So while doing association, we should be very careful. You know, sometimes we do hot water for taking bath. Okay. Then it becomes very hot. So we put some cold water into it. Okay. So the living beings that were in the cold water and the living beings that were in the hot water. So hot water, all the living beings have died already. But now if you put this cold water into connection of hot water, the living beings of cold water will also die. So there is again a violence, and violence means karmic bondage. So these are all causes of influx. So association also we should be very careful. Combining cold, hot or pure, impure material is called material related association. Then the second one, combining Sachit and Achit. Sachit means with living beings, Achit means without living beings. So Sachit and Achit food and drinks is called diet related association. Okay. So combinations while combining also, you know, Dvidar. Anyone knows about Dvidar? What it is?
Yes, sir. Mixing dahi and dal.
So milk product and the pulses. Okay.
That
So
is
when the
Nishad.
milk when the milk product along with pulses, there is no violence. But when it comes to our tongue, saliva, when it comes in touch with saliva, infinite living beings are killed. You know. So
सर
that's why we don't.
सर वो दाल और दही जैसे मिलाए तो उस टाइम नहीं होता है, सलाइवा के बाद मिलने से
तो
होता है।
खाएंगे ना, आफ्टर ऑल मिला के तो
हाँ वो
खाना
तो
ही है
है,
ना।
बट बोलते हैं कि मिलाते हैं तभी हो जाता है।
नहीं नहीं, मिलाते नहीं होता है, उस सलाइवा के टच में आता है तब होता है।
ओहो।
हाँ,
अच्छा
तो
अच्छा
मिलाएंगे क्यों? अगर हमको खाना ही नहीं है तो मिलाएंगे क्यों?
नहीं, बहुत समय अर्लियर वी यूज्ड टू डू इट व्हेन वी वर यंग, जब तक नहीं
हाँ
मालूम था,
हाँ
और मालूम पड़ने के बाद तो फिर वी डोंट डू इट.
Like
ओके।
dahi vada would be
हाँ,
one.
दही बड़ा, देन दिस
हाँ,
कढ़ी.
dahi vada,
कढ़ी,
all these are not to be consumed. So
कढ़ी
you
also.
can consume milk separately, dahi separately, and the pulses separately. So
But
once
sir,
you are
in the
finished
same
with
meal,
huh?
in the same meal,
No, see, first you finish your dahi, okay? Then you take water. So now your mouth is clear, okay? Then you have vada.
okay.
So that way
लेकिन
you can
सर,
have it.
वन मोर थिंग, कढ़ी बनाते हैं ना, कढ़ी, आई
हाँ,
डोंट.
तो उसमें नींबू डाल सकते हैं, हम लोग नींबू डाल के बनाते हैं।
मैंने बेसन और दही मिलाते हैं ना, तो
हाँ,
वो
तो नहीं, हम लोग दही नहीं डालते ना, तो अगेन द्विदड़ हो जाएगा ना, बेसन और दही।
तो हमें तो बोला गया है कि दही को गर्म कर लीजिए, इतना
हाँ,
गर्म करिए
so
कि.
different people have different kinds of belief. What we use at our place is lemon.
अच्छा.
Okay, this is from MP. In Madhya Pradesh, they have got a very rich traditions of this all pure kinds of foods, you know, and they are following it right now also, and that's where we learn from. Okay, so someone doesn't believe that if you put dry fruits in milk, it doesn't have didad, but it is also a didad.
ओहो.
Okay, so different people believe, like anjeer, you know, anjeer.
We don't eat.
Many people consume
Anjeer to
anjeer,
is
but
harmful. Anjeer to is
anjeer
totally,
is in the 5 abaks, major abaks, you
yes.
know.
So it's horrible. अंजीर तो खाना ही नहीं चाहिए.
Yeah.
It's
पर सर
आप,
ये कढ़ी,
but
ये
I know
कढ़ी वगैरह
I know
मुझे तो
many Jains
आज
are
पता
eating it.
लगा है. आज पता लगा है कि वी शुड नॉट ईट दही बड़ा बिकॉज इट इज,
Yeah.
हमने सोचा
हाँ,
हेल्थ के लिए अच्छा नहीं होता इसलिए मना करते हैं.
नहीं, this is the reason.
Generally.
Hmm. So
बैड.
all these are Charnan Yog. Okay. So we have done this. B Nikshep is done. The next one was association is done. The last one. The action of initiation or beginning is called Nisarga. It is of 3 types. Mental is at the mind level, verbal is at the speech level, and the body level. 3 types of this. So all these put together is 11 types of Ajiv Adhikaran. Okay, non-soul related foundation. So that's the next week we will start from verse number aphorism number 10, and that is your CC2. Okay, CC2 we will start from 10 and we end up on 27. So those will be your CC2. I will give you the homework next week when we finished this class. Then I will start your homework for 21 days about that. For Viva, I'll be asking you 3 questions based on your journey so far in Parmagam Honors course. Those will be general questions, but at the same time, that will define your understanding. Okay. So that will come separate on. We will have time for that. Right now, I've given you homework last week for Gandhar Mulyankan. I hope you are preparing and you have to share it in the group only. Okay. Once you finish, you send it in the group, everyone will listen, and that will be a kind of revisions. Okay. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है. 9 times नमोकार मंत्र. बोलो द्वात संगमई जिनवाणी माता की.